Hello, welcome to Who's On Next, the podcast that's the only thing that hasn't been turned into a Funko Pop. Today I have with me a VTuber who's known for her Playhouse Disney Blues Clues aesthetic. It is Julesy Woolsy.
Hi, I don't have a Funko Pop made of me, and I never will.
How are you doing today?
I'm so good. Thank you for inviting me on. I've never been on a podcast
I
before.
was shocked when you told me that. I was legitimately surprised you had never been on a podcast of any kind.
I was legitimately honored to be invited onto a podcast, so thank you.
Yay!
Yay.
Oh, I always get like I can't think of very many people who I've interviewed where they've said they've never been on a podcast before. Maybe one or two. I don't know if
Wow.
Alpine had. They never brought it up.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. I just it's interesting when I hear people, especially somebody who I know has like garnered a bit of a following. I'm surprised like at least one person hasn't reached out for a podcast interview. And I'm just like,
Well,
really? I was the first one.
you were the first one. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I love to talk.
There was like, I think one person. Well, I've had people who've told me like I've asked them questions that they've never been asked before. Not like weird shit, but like
Yeah.
things about their career where they were just like, "Oh, I'm going to be honest, I've never been asked that question before." And I was like, "Really? I would think that would be something someone would have asked you by now." I
It's fun
remember.
to be asked things that you've never been asked before. Sorry to just like hard right turn. But I'm thinking about Nardwar. I love Nardwar.
I was
And
thinking
I
that
love.
too. I was
Yeah.
thinking that's. I had the exact same thought. I've had that thought when I've talked to people before of like, am I ever gonna ask them like that one question where they're like, "How the fuck did you know that?" Like
Yeah, it's
that
a
kind of.
Nardwar moment, a certified Nardwar moment. He's just bringing out
So in
information
third
that no
grade
one
when you
remembers.
so in third grade when you threw cottage cheese at the school bully in the cafeteria, like how the fuck did you
How
know
did you
that?
know that I threw cottage cheese?
Like when you kicked the school bully in the dick in fifth grade, how did you feel having your first detention? I'm like, what?
Exhilaration. No, I've never done that though, unfortunately.
Well, it's like I remember. I think one of the ones I was most interested in when I interviewed Matt Vogel. I remember
Yes.
I asked him about taking over the role of Kermit, and
Mm-hmm.
I remember he told the story about when he took over the role and like why and how and circumstances of how it happened. And he this actually, if you go back to the interview, this is not in the interview, but I asked him about it and he kind of broke it down a little bit, and he emailed me the next day and he was like, "Hey, like could you remove that from the interview, because I don't think I answered it very well because I've never been asked that
Mm-hmm.
question."
Oh,
And I was like,
really?
"You well
That's
no,
surprising.
I even said that to him. I said like, nobody's ever asked you about what it was like taking over Kermit?"
That's like the thing that people
I
would
would think
ask
that would
him,
be
I assume.
I would, well, that's why I was like, I would think that would be the first thing somebody would have
Yeah.
asked you. That's why I was so shocked when he told me that. And I don't know, maybe because I've told this story to a few people. So in the Matt Vogel interview specifically, there was a person from Disney sitting in on the call with us.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Not a producer. I don't like, not like a big person, but like it wasn't like his agent. I don't remember what she was exactly, but there was some representative of Disney sitting in on the call, and I assume it was so he didn't say something he wasn't supposed to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
was imagining a big man in a tuxedo and dark sunglasses, like Mr.
no,
Bubbles from Lilo and
no,
Stitch.
it was a woman. She was very nice. Like she was a
Oh,
very
good.
nice person. But it was, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of weird that, because I've never, to this day, I've still never had that where there was just someone sitting in the call with us,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah,
was
I guess there was
interesting.
some ND stuff afoot.
Well, I mean, when he had only been Kermit, I think for like a year or two at that point, I think 2 years. Yeah,
What?
I think he'd been Kermit for
Oh
2 years at that
yeah.
point. Like this was like
Yeah, wow,
just
that was a long time ago.
yeah, no, I can't. He's been Kermit for like 8 years now.
Yeah,
I
people don't
think.
think about that because of the time continuum and fuckery
Well,
in
that
our
I
world.
it's whenever people give his Kermit shit, like still to this day, I'm like, and it's people who are like, "Who's this new guy doing Kermit?" I'm like, "He's been doing Kermit. It's
He's
not
been doing
new."
Kermit, and you know, I I love the Muppets. Muppets are one of my favorite things ever. I was raised on the Muppets.
You want? We could make this whole podcast just Muppets for 2 hours. If you want to talk to me
Muppet
about Muppets, I fucking
podcast.
love Muppet stuff.
Oh
I have
yeah, I
so
could
many
probably
Muppet
talk
books
a
on.
long time.
I have so many
Um,
Muppet books on my shelf.
yeah, but Matt Vogel, like, I think he's doing a really good job. I think a lot of the time when people are like, "Oh, the new voice of Kermit is so bad and it sounds nothing like him," one, it doesn't have to be a perfect copy for it to like have the soul of Kermit, and um, two, I think he's doing a great job. I think that like people are just only listening to what he did right when he got the role, and he was still working on it. And three, I think my parrot is chewing on a wire under my computer. I have a pet parrot named Budo, and he is here to make sure that something goes wrong today. So,
I know
you
you.
actually do have another guest sitting in on this podcast, and it's Budo.
I know you did tell me about your parrot when I first reached out to you.
Yeah. Yep. He screams. He mumbles. He's raised. Do you hear him? I don't know if you hear him, but he's going like wah, 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 wah.
Well, I was gonna say, what is it? That little wink, 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 wink sound I'm
He's
hearing?
going wah, wah. Yep, he's here. I'm gonna keep him entertained to make sure he doesn't do anything horrible.
Oh, and I was like, well, it's not even like Muppet stuff in particular. I noticed that a lot of times when somebody takes over a role where I just feel bad because it'll just be like
Yeah.
tons of people shitting on that person. I remember when
It's big
like
shoes to fill.
well, I remember when the two guys who took over for Rick and Morty, like when that happened, and
Yeah.
everybody was like, "Oh, those guys fucking suck. They sound nothing." I'm like, "Really? They're pretty good. I think they're pretty fucking close
Yeah.
to Justin Roiland." Like, and I think even still to this day, I see those guys getting shit in like comments. I'm like, they've been doing it for like 3 years at this point, guys. Like, they're not gonna go away. Like.
Yeah, I haven't watched Rick and Morty in a long time.
Oh, I
but
haven't either. But like,
it's on season 9 now.
oh
By
yeah,
the
no,
way.
I saw that today, and I was like, what are you fucking? I keep forgetting it's still going.
It just kind
Whenever,
of blows my mind. Yeah.
like, I always forget that show is even still going because I'm just like, I
Yeah.
never hear anybody talk about it ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like what else? There was like another show a couple years ago. I was shocked to find out. Oh yeah, Young Sheldon. When I found out that
Still
shit-
going?
No, it ended like last
Oh.
year, I think. And when it ended, I was like, that shit was still going.
I mean,
Like-
surely he couldn't be very young anymore.
Well, I think I think he's like 17 now, 18. I don't know how old the kid is, but I was like,
They contractually had to end the show when he turned 18. Yeah.
oh, well, I mean, I know that there are shows that have done that in the past where like, oh, well, we have to end the show because the main kid is getting way too old. Or you
Yeah,
can
unless
just
it's
go with
a
it.
cartoon.
Or you could just go with it
Cartoon where
like
he
Boy
just
Meets
replaced.
World. Go with it like Boy Meets World and have them go from elementary school to like college, which I always
Sweet Life
honestly...
on Deck.
Oh yeah, I
Sweet-
honestly always
Sweet Life on Deck.
I always thought it was a lot cooler when they like worked with the actor getting older. Again, like Boy Meets
Mm-hmm.
World, where it starts out with them in like 5th grade and the show ends with them in like graduating college, I think.
Wow.
I don't know. I think
Yeah, I
that
never got
shit's
to
a lot
watch that one.
cooler. Or like Adventure Time, like with Finn, where they like actually aged
Mm-hmm.
the character up with the actor.
So cool. I love Fiona and Cake.
Oh, Fiona and Cake is so good. So I guess to get this started, what is it that made you want to get into doing VTubing?
Oh, that's a funny question. I just started seeing VTubers. I grew up on Tumblr back in like the 2010s. And I remember like long ago seeing live 2D animations. being like, this is so cool. Wow. And I remember downloading the program probably in like 20, I don't know when the program came out. I'm going to guess like 2013. And I looked at the live 2D program and I was like, wow, this is incredibly confusing. I do not have the brain capacity to figure this out. And then, I don't know, 7 years passed and 2020 happened and you start seeing all these VTubers popping up. And I didn't have a job. I was just at my house by my lonesome, and I think it would be pretty cool to make one of those VTuber models. So I drew one myself, booted up Live 2D, watched a tutorial, rigged a model that looked really horrible. Actually, I rigged 3 models and drew 3 models on my own, like, or maybe even 4, like, consecutively, trying to get better. And yeah, I started streaming. I just kind of started streaming because I was like, oh, I made this model. I guess I stream now, right? I kind of just fell into it. And I feel like that's how a lot of streamers do with VTubing. They just kind of fall into it. Like, oh, it would be cool to have a cool little avatar of myself. And I guess I have to stream now because I have this. When you don't really need to. But I'm so glad that I did because I really love streaming and it's so fun. And I'm just really grateful for everything that's happened since then.
I've wondered for a long time, like, would the VTube community, because I remember when the pandemic happened and VTubing just fucking exploded,
Blew up,
like, during that period, and I wonder if it would be where it currently is if it wasn't for the pandemic. Because
I don't think so.
Yeah, I've thought for a long time, like, if the pandemic did not happen, like, would VTubing even be on the level where it is currently? Or would we even have, like, half the people that we currently have doing it?
Yeah, I really don't think so, just because the circumstances and the situations of so many people being home, not having jobs to attend to, having a lot of free time, both, and this works with both the streamers themselves and the people watching the streamers also not having much to do. So I think that, I mean, I don't want to say thank you, COVID, because that's, but, you know, just the way that things went, there's so many awesome streamers now that probably wouldn't be streaming without the circumstances we were put in.
I was like, because I said this last time when I spoke to Alpine. I said I've debated, because I have streamed several times, but, like, I don't really get into it that much, even though I've done it several times. I think it's also because, like, I am very, very boring if I am by myself. I'm very boring when I'm by myself. I don't like not having another person, like, in the call with me.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, if I have nobody to talk to, I'm just going to sit there and, like, barely say anything. Because I've never been a person that comments on stuff when I'm by myself. Like, if I'm playing a game, I don't talk when I play a game by myself, unless I'm like, damn it, either. Shit. Like, unless I'm, like, getting mad, like, I don't speak to myself like normally.
It's really, like, an important skill to have as a streamer, is to be able to create conversation with yourself and talk to yourself if you don't have someone else to converse with. That being said, I know so many streamers who just will stream with their friends all the time, because I've also known people that are like that, where it's like, well, it's just more fun when you have another person to talk to.
Oh yeah, again, I just feel like I am very boring if I don't have someone to talk to, because it gives me something to. I even said this last stream. I distinctly remember the only stream I ever deleted was I played Hi-Fi Rush. I played it for like 2 hours. I don't think I said more than 50 words that entire stream. Because I'm like,
I don't engrossed in the gameplay.
Yeah, because I just don't have anything to comment on. Because I'm not somebody who really talks when I play games. That's kind of my whole issue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really comment on anything like that whenever I play a game.
No comment. No comment.
Well, that's why it's kind of like,
myself, I won't do that. But yeah, I guess, like, when I stream, like, the streamer switch is flipped God bless you. I'm just kidding.
Thank you. That's the first time I think I've ever sneezed during an interview.
Ever? Oh, during an interview.
I think it's my first. Fuck, what was that?
What just happened to me?
I spoke to a friend. I have not had hiccups in probably like 15 years. And I remember I told a friend that, and they were like, what? And I was like, no, I just don't have I never get hiccups. Like that kind of shit.
When it happens, you're going to be so scared.
I'm going to be mad. I'm gonna be mad. I'm like, damn it, my streak. My streak is over. As you were saying.
Gosh, I don't know what I was saying. I was just
I
talking
forgot
about
damn it,
streaming.
I forgot to.
Yeah, I guess when I go into stream mode, like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be yap, and I'm just gonna be yapping and yapping, and I'm gonna be talking, and I can just go forever. Except like I can go forever, like weirdly enough, it's kind of the opposite of you, where I can talk forever if I am by myself. But if I'm in a conversation with someone, I can also talk for a really long time, but there's a part of my brain that's more conscious where it's like, I'm in a conversation and I need to be respectful and let other people talk. But if I'm streaming, then I'm like, I'm free and I'm alone and I can just yap as much as I want.
Well, that's why
like running in a field.
Yeah, I've seen your streams, because that's the thing where I'm like, I remember when I like discovered your stuff, I remember I was like, this is like one of the most high energy people I think I've ever seen in a streaming environment. Like,
really? Wow.
Genuinely. I've seen people who have a lot of energy. Like, I remember just watching, I think, like 2 of your streams, and I was just like, this is a fucking cartoon character. Like straight up live stream.
I love being a cartoon character. It's the best.
Like I just remember I was so blown away by it, because it was the model, because I loved how it, like, just the world and the character looked, and then it was just the energy, and I was just like, I have never seen a VTuber that is just like this. Maybe one or two. I could think of like maybe Chibi Doki. That's like another one I can think of where she has a lot of like cartoony energy. But I just so rarely see, I guess, somebody that's just so high energy like all the time when they're on stream.
I'm very glad that my energy matches the model. I love my model so much, by the way. I think that like having a model that matches you well and really does like match your energy and your vibes and your personality and also just like the things that you like reflects you as a streamer or as a person is so important for streaming, because like I wouldn't want to stream if I didn't have a model that I feel like reflected me. So I feel very lucky. But I did draw the model myself, and it was rigged by Slurpy Doo. Slurpy Doo is so incredible. Such a sweet person as well, but Slurpy Doo did such an amazing job rigging my model. Like, it just brought the cartoony physics and bounciness and movement to life, and I love it.
I was gonna say, is it Slurpy like EE or Slurpy with a Y?
Slurpy IE.
Slurpy IE.
Yep, Slurpy.
I look up Slurpy Doo, and I look up Slurpy Doo, and the first thing I see is a Scooby Doo Slurpy cup from 1976. That's the first thing I saw when I looked up the name Slurpy Doo.
I love that. Did you do 2 words?
I did 2 words. Yeah. Is it all one word?
Yeah, it's 1 word. Slurpy
This
Doo.
is the first thing I saw when I looked up the name Slurpy Doo.
Oh my god, I see it. It's 7-11, 1981. That's just paper.
Oh,
That's
I see
a
one
paper cup from 1981.
I see one from 1976. And they did Shaggy, but he's got like a horrible sunburn.
I see him. He's so burnt. Shaggy went to the beach and there's a ghost there. Ghosts at the beach. We don't see ghosts at the beach.
There were a few ghosts in Scooby-Doo that were beach focused. There were a couple.
Yeah. And there was the diving man.
Captain Cutler was like one of my favorite Scooby-Doo ghosts. Was
he a pirate?
No, Captain Cutler was the diving suit ghost.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow, I didn't know you were on a name basis with him.
No, I just remember the name. That his name was Captain, because that was I had a DVD as a kid that had like the first 5 episodes of Scooby-Doo, and I remember that was like the second episode, I think, was Captain Cutler,
Yeah.
the diving ghost.
I think that's why he's so iconic. Like, he's one of the first ones I think of, and it's because he's just so early. And then also,
Well, my
like, I don't
my
know,
favorite
his
has always been Space Kook. That's always been my favorite.
Space Kook.
Oh, do you not know what the Space Kook is?
I just don't know. Wait, I'm gonna look it up.
Oh, let me show you.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah, Space Kook is like my favorite Scooby-Doo monster.
He's pretty iconic. I don't know their names, but I do know what they look like, and that's an iconic one. He's so cool.
I just love the fucking laugh.
Yeah.
Hey, say,
Can
do you know what he sounds like? Like the laugh that he does?
I want you to do it for me.
I don't know if I can. It's
Okay.
fucking, it's woo! Ah! It's like something like that.
You did it! I know him. He laughs crazy style. I remember him.
Yeah, no, that I found like I hope that's not an edit, but I did find a 5-second clip of his laugh.
Can I try it?
I try it.
He goes. Classic Space Kook.
It's funny because
I always
you
love
say your
Scooby Doo
thing.
Ghoul School. I just want to say,
Oh,
shout out to all the girlies at Scooby Doo Ghoul School. I
Ghoul
love
School
you.
was always like one of my favorite ones. I didn't watch it for a long time. I think I rewatched it a few years ago. It's good. It's not my favorite Scooby Doo movie.
Well, here's the thing: it's actually not very good. I just love the designs a lot.
Oh, I think it's decent. I think it's like a 7 out of 10. I think it's a decent movie.
It's fine.
Yeah. That was during that really weird Scooby-Doo era where they didn't really know what to do with Scooby-Doo anymore, so they just kind of threw whatever the fuck at the wall at it, because that was around the time Scrappy was invented, and that was basically, well, what do we do? Yeah, it was like,
and it
well,
was
what do
also
we
Red
do?
Shirt Scooby,
Red Shirt Shaggy. Red Shirt Shaggy. Yeah, I remember because it was that. And the Boo Brothers, that was another one. I'm trying to think of like the Scooby's, the Scrappy
there
movies.
There was a third one. There was a third one.
Was it the Reluctant Werewolf? I need to look it up.
That sounds right. That sounds correct.
It was either the Reluctant Werewolf, or I remember there was one. Oh, okay, it was. Yeah, Reluctant Werewolf was the one where they were in like go-karts or whatever, and they were like racing all the Universal monsters. That's what it was.
Yes. And now at Universal, well, maybe it's over, I think, but Universal Hollywood is doing an event called Fan Fest Nights or something like that. And it's kind of like an after hours event or late night event, kind of like Halloween Horror Nights. But it's for like fandom. So they have an event that is Scooby-Doo themed, and also Universal monsters, and it's like a mystery that you can go around the lot and try to solve a mystery.
Oh, I was gonna say, is it one of those
Shaggy,
things they have like stuff like strewn around the park, and you have to like find clues and things?
Yeah, but it's like it's on the backlot tour, so like they bring you to the backlot and they just let you wander around, and they have, Shaggy and Scooby and the gang, but then they also just have.
Do they have people like dressed
Dracula.
up? Dracula.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do they have like people dressed up as the Scooby characters?
They do, and they'll role play with you. And they're
what
like,
do they
help
do
us
with
solve the
Scooby?
mystery. He's like a walk around character. He doesn't talk. He's like it's like
is he
a
like
fursuit, pretty much.
I was gonna say, is it like a puppet, or like what do they do with the Scooby-Doo?
It's
like
not
for
a
the
puppet.
walk around?
It's just yeah, he's on 2 legs. He's just in like a cute little full body costume, and he'll just kind of like put his hands on his hips and you walk up and you're like, hey Scooby,
He's a
how's
sassy,
it going?
very
And he
sassy
kinda,
Scooby.
he puts his hands on his hips and he kind of like wiggles his hips around for you. It's like, oh Scooby, oh Scooby, you got the moves. And then he starts like pawing at the air, and it's like, can we get a picture, Scooby? And then you pose for a picture. He's not going to help you with the mystery, because he can't talk to you, but he is gonna pose with you.
It's like, do they have like, is the guy who's doing Shaggy, like, is he doing like, we're gonna get out of here, man? Like, are they doing that?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yep. They talk to you. They sure do. And they'll talk with you. They'll role play with you. But then so there's the Scooby-Doo gang, but then conversely, there's also the Universal monsters who are also just there for some reason. I don't know why. But they'll have like Dracula and Frankenstein, Frankenstein's bride, and they're just also kind of like loitering on this lot. People, I haven't been there myself, by the way. I'm just a huge theme park head, so even though I like cannot get out to theme parks most of the time because they're far away, I will be like watching videos. People did not seem to love that Scooby-Doo and the monsters. They just thought it was confusing. They were like, why are the monsters here? I don't know. But
oh,
hey,
so the
it goes all the way back to Reluctant Werewolf.
So were the monsters? So the monsters were tied to the Scooby-Doo thing. It wasn't just like,
Yeah,
we have the
yeah,
monsters
they were
here and the Scooby-Doo thing here. I thought you were
Yeah, it was
saying
an
it was
epic
like
crossover.
okay. I thought you were saying it was like the Universal monster thing was like kind of a separate thing with the Scooby-Doo thing. Like they were both like in their own area.
It's together, but then the other things they had a One Piece thing. They had a Harry Potter thing. They had they always have to do that for some reason. They had what? I mean, in the past, I know they had a Star Trek thing, and
I still think
doing
about
something.
that crazy shit where like apparently Disney almost got the exclusive theme
Yeah.
park rights to Harry Potter. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That they almost got the rights to that. Because I
Yeah,
cannot
and
imagine what a Disney Harry Potter tie-in would have been like.
Well, I know that they started drafting plans. I don't want to talk about shithead J.K. Rowling, especially because like I've never even been a Harry Potter fan. Like I've just never been into it.
I've seen a
and I'm
handful of the
lucky.
movies, but I've never given a shit about Harry Potter ever.
We're lucky because, God, you know some.
I
people
grew up in a
really
family
loved
that
it.
did though. Like,
Yeah.
everyone
but
in my
I know
family
that-
fucking loves Harry Potter, but me.
I'm taking damage. I know that J.K. pooping like turned them down because they were like, for some reason she was like, I don't like what you're doing, so I'm gonna go with Universal instead.
It had something to do because I think it was going to be like a winter themed area or something, and I think she didn't like that idea or something like that.
Eternal winter. Gosh, I don't know. And it sucks. It sucks being a theme park fan because you have to have all this stupid knowledge about about Harry Potter and the theme parks. Because it was so revolutionary when those lands opened. And it really like changed the entire view of theme parks and what a theme park land could be. So it was really revolutionary. That being said, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. And they're still doing stuff to this day.
I personally have been more spiteful towards Universal because they've torn down things because Universal also doubles as a film lot. Because like they have actual like film stuff there for preservation. I'm still spiteful about how they tore down the original Phantom of the Opera set for fucking yeah, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they tore down. It was 100 years old, and they tore it down.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
like the original Phantom of the
Opera. It was the original
like,
silent 10s, like late 10s to early 20s Phantom of the Opera set. It was almost 100 years old, and they fucking destroyed it. For I forget what it was for.
Shit.
It was supposedly for some Harry Potter shit, but I've never really seen that validated. But I just remember learning about that a few years ago, and I was like, are you fucking kidding? They just threw away like the oldest surviving movie set for some shitty ride.
Wow.
Like
crazy. Yeah, the bad thing about especially Universal California Hollywood is that they do not have a lot of space to work with. They only have a limited amount of space on that plot of land that they have, so they gotta be like really picky and choosy about what to tear down and what to replace it with. Meanwhile, like the Florida parks, they have a lot of space.
Yeah, well, because I also remember when they did that, there was a bunch of petitions, and I think even there were museums that like offered to take like pieces of the set, like,
I
or
wonder if they
take like a
did.
chunk of it and like put it on display. I think even the Museum of the Moving Image in New York like
Oh
offered them
yeah.
like, hey, yeah, we'll take like a chunk of this set like and put it
Hmm.
here for preservation. And Universal said, nah, we're just gonna tear it down.
What?
Yeah.
No.
No, they didn't preserve any of it. They did not preserve any of it. They
If
just
they
tore
can,
it down.
if people are offering, give it to them.
Yeah, no, there were literal people offering like to take parts of it for preservation and they just destroyed it.
That's stupid, Universal. Quite stupid. You will regret this.
It's like, what were we
And
talking
you've lost a
about?
fan in
we,
M.
we,
Edwards, VA. What are we talking about?
we were talking about
Scooby-Doo. I
Scooby
don't
Doo,
know.
and then we were talking about theme parks. So I was like, what? I say, what is my favorite
Yeah.
Scooby Doo? What was my favorite Scooby Doo movie? Probably Witch's Ghost. Maybe that
I mean,
one.
it's a classic. That's the one with Hex Girls, right?
Yeah, Witch's Ghost.
Everyone always
thing
talks
is
about Zombie Island.
I've never been big on that one. I like it, but like I don't
It's
love it.
good.
I like it, but I don't love
Yeah.
it like a lot of other people do. Like I don't know,
Yeah,
Witch's
yeah.
Ghost to me was the better one because I just thought that one was more fun.
Yeah, Witch's Ghost is fun, and it has Tim Curry in it.
It has Tim
so,
Curry. I was gonna
Yeah,
say
always good.
my favorite thing about that movie is Tim Curry just giving up on his American accent halfway through the movie.
I never noticed that. Really?
Oh, I remember I did a podcast where me and a friend talked about that movie a few years ago, and I rewatched it, and I had never noticed he just because he's doing an American accent for like the first half of the movie because he's supposed to be playing an American guy, and then halfway through the movie drops it. He just completely goes
Wow.
back to doing British Tim Curry.
Anytime I rewatch that, I'm gonna have to listen out. Somehow I've never ever noticed that in all my times
I'd never
of
noticed it
watching
either until the rewatch because it's Tim Curry, so I was paying a lot of attention to Tim Curry whenever he was on screen. And
Yeah.
he's doing like the hello, I'm Ben Ravencroft. Like he's doing like a like clearly like a fucking like a phony American accent. And then halfway through the movie, no, maybe not halfway, maybe like in the third act, like right around the end. Like he just goes like, Allura was a witch. I'm summoning the demons, and he just starts
I think
doing
it's him
the
going evil mode and like
yeah.
well,
When he goes
evil
like
and
pure
British.
evil, he just completely drops the accent.
I love putting on a Scooby-Doo movie that I've never seen before. Anytime I'm like, I want to watch a movie and I really don't know what. I guess I'll either put on like a Scooby-Doo movie or a Barbie movie or a Bratz movie or what's the other one? A DCOM. I love Disney Channel original movies. I'm
Oh,
trying
see,
to
I'm
watch
not.
all of those.
I was never. I was never a Barbie or a Bratz person. I have had
Oh,
friends.
that's okay.
I have had friends who, because in my server we do like, if it's someone's birthday coming up, they get to pick whatever movie they want for movie
Yeah,
night.
I do that too.
Yeah, and there's been like 2 or 3 times in the last 3 years I've been forced to watch 2 Bratz movies and 2 Barbie movies, and I have
Oh, well,
been miserable during all of them.
look, in that case, you just sit your ass down and you watch the damn movie.
I'm like, I have to sit here to be nice. Like,
You
watch
look, if
this.
you watch it, then you make your own fun out of it. I think that you can have fun with any movie. Yesterday I watched a Neil Breen movie with my friends.
Oh my
and
god.
It was maybe the worst movie. Well, I've seen a lot of really bad movies.
I've seen
It was
a
one
lot
of the worst
dog
movies
shit.
I've ever seen, and you just make your own fun of it, and it ends up being like the best night ever. Because
For me,
you
it's
just have fun with your friends.
the worst is when it's a bad movie and it's also boring. Because then you
Yeah.
just have like nothing to make fun of, and that was kind of my thing
Yeah.
with the Barbie movies. Is I was
I
both
think so
I
many
was
Barbie movies are good.
I
really
it
good, I'm just
was
saying.
I have seen the Nutcracker and what was the other one?
Classic.
Swan Princess?
Probably.
What's the one where
Ooh.
what's the one with the big nose guy and he like has a daughter and he like turns her into a pig at the end? I think that's Swan
Oh.
Princess.
That's not ringing any bells. Maybe I haven't seen that one before.
I need to
gonna
look
look
it
it
up
up.
because I remember Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, you look it up.
Kelsey Grammer
You
is
look
in
at
it.
Kelsey
Swan
Grammer.
Lake.
Ooh.
Swan Lake. That's what it was. Barbie Swan Lake. That was the one I saw.
Swan Lake is a classic ballet. I watched a Barbie movie. I think the most recent Barbie movie I watched was Barbie and the Pink Shoes. And I didn't know what that was going to be going into it. I just, I trust Barbie with my life. And it ended up being a combination of several classic ballets, including Swan Lake. And I was like, this is crazy what they're doing. They're just going through all these stories. But back to Scooby-Doo. I think we're jumping all over the place.
Oh, don't worry. That happens a lot.
I think like some of the newer Scooby-Doo movies are incredible. Like some of my favorite Scooby-Doo movies ever are the newest ones, and I gotta give a shout out to Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo.
Was it I forget what was the one? Trick or Treat was the one that had the really really good animation in it, wasn't it? Like the
beautiful animation.
The one where for some reason they gave it like a really high animation budget.
Yeah, and clearly someone had a lot of passion in animating Velma's awesome love interest that she had a big crush on.
The fashionista Shell from El Dorado. That's what I just said. Just like the
her name, I think I'm looking at the
Coco?
cast. I think her name is Coco Diablo. Yeah,
Coco. Yeah, I was gonna say it.
That's a great fun movie. I love the new Scooby-Doo movies. I gave that a 9 out of 10.
Holy shit.
It's good.
Because what recent ones have I seen? I saw Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo. I did not like that one nearly as much as I was hoping I would.
Was that the one that had like
Maxwell Adams
Scarecrow in it?
Yeah, the one and Bill Nye and Maxwell Adams from Billy and Mandy like wrote it. And
I remember watched it yet.
I remember hearing all that, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds fucking awesome!" Like that sounds like this the most batshit. It was okay. I was kind of disappointed how okay it was. Like,
I think Trick or Treat's probably better, even though like that's hyping it up a lot. Because I didn't really. Adams is great.
I didn't really care for the Courage crossover.
I need to watch that one too.
I thought that one was okay, but that one just has a few too many things that just kind of weirded me the fuck out. And also, I couldn't get out of my mind that I know John Dilworth had no involvement in it, and I know he was very, very mad that he had no involvement in it.
That's so sad, especially when like they're still around and would probably be open.
Oh yeah, no, someone asked him about it around the time it was coming out, and he very publicly was like, I had no involvement in it. I'm very mad I had no involvement in it. They did not ask me to have any involvement in it. Like,
that sucks. That sucks really bad. Yeah. I am going to watch it at some point, though, just because I want to watch every Scooby-Doo
I really
movie.
loved the Batman Brave and the Bold crossover a lot. That's probably one of my favorite Scooby-Doo movies.
I need to watch all the crossovers.
I remember when they announced that, and I was like, Brave and the Bold has been off the air for like 6 years. Like, why are you doing this crossover now? And I remember it came out. Random. It was just as good as Brave and the Bold, the TV show. I was so happy that it didn't feel off. It never felt off, or the tone didn't feel weird. Like, it felt like a Batman Brave and the Bold episode. It was so good.
I wonder if they got some of the writers from the show.
Oh, I wouldn't be shocked, because they got everybody from Brave and the Bold, like actor-wise, to come back too.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Have you seen the Kiss crossover?
No, I haven't seen the Kiss crossover.
That movie's fucking insane, dude. I don't
even like Kiss, but I do want to watch it.
It's not good, but holy shit, is it funny. Like, it is.
That's the best kind of movie.
It is one of the craziest crossover movies I think I've ever seen, because do you know the plot of it?
No, not at all.
Scooby and the gang are invited to a Kiss-themed amusement park where they have to team up with Kiss to stop a celestial being from destroying the universe or something like that.
The stakes are high.
And Kiss has like a floating rocket ship that's a guitar, and they have superpowers, and it's so fucking weird.
That's so That's so I just don't really like Kiss, so I'm like in my mind I'm like that's so douchey. Like they're like wanting to become
I like their music. I do
superheroes.
not like them as people. I do
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
like.
I think I don't even really I don't listen to Kiss, but I just don't like them as people. However, like I said, I will be watching the crossover movie.
I'd say my favorite is actually, I guess a more recent. God, we've been talking about Scooby Doo for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, checking my watch. Scooby-Doo, the Scooby-Doo time is eating.
My favorite is Moon Monster Madness, which was like
I
around the
know
mid
that one.
2010s.
Moon Monster
That
Madness.
one is
Moon...
shockingly really good. It's kind of a crossover. What if Scooby Doo was in Alien? That's basically what
Scooby-Doo
it is.
himself?
Like if the Scooby Doo characters were in the movie Alien. That's
Whoa.
that's basically what it is, because the monster is just a xenomorph.
What? Why can't I find Moon Monster? Oh, I see it. The second I'm like, where is it?
Yeah,
Oh, with the pizza flag, yes.
the monster is just straight up a xenomorph.
Oh my god, it is. I see it. What? It's so xenomorph, but like spikier. It's got barbs.
Yeah, no,
I'll watch that one.
it's really good. It's really, really good. I went into it because someone had recommended it to me, saying like, no, if you want like a really good Scooby-Doo movie, that is one. And I was like, I'm skeptical, because I've watched a lot of really bad Scooby-Doo movies, like a lot of really bad Scooby-Doo movies.
Yep.
I honestly think like most of the 2000s era Scooby-Doo movies are bad.
They're kind of pretty bad, yeah. People have their nostalgic glasses on for most of them. I do still forever love, what is it called? Alien Invaders. Scooby-Doo
See,
Alien
that
Invaders.
to me was the last good one. I honestly think Cyber Chase is when it just
Yeah, see, that's so funny. So many people love Cyber Chase.
Cyber Chase does
it's not
not
that
hold up,
good.
dude. It
Not
does
really.
not.
It's
That
still
was my favorite
fun.
one. I can defend this. That was my favorite one as a kid. I watched that movie all the time as a kid. And then I didn't watch it for probably like a decade. And then I was like in my early 20s, and I was like, I'm gonna rewatch this, and I watched it with some friends, and we all grew up with it. We all liked that movie. We all watched it, and I remember by the time it was over, some of us were so depressed that it was bad. Like we were just like, I remember one friend specifically was like, I'm genuinely sad. That was like my favorite Scooby-Doo movie, and it is so bad.
Yeah, that happens. Your little baby brain watches it as a kid and it's not fully developed, and you think this is the best thing ever, and then you grow up and you're like, wait,
Shark Tale.
now I have a sharper sense. What, you love Shark Tale? You
No,
felt Shark
that
Tale
was
the
my
best
that's
thing
what
ever?
happened to me with Shark Tale. Was I liked Shark Tale as a kid, and I loved it, and I didn't watch it for like a decade, and then I watched it with my grandmother. I watched it with my grandmother, and I remember we were like 40. I will never forget this. It was like a year before my grandmother passed away, and I remember we were
Oh my
watching Shark
gosh.
Tale, and I remember we were like 45 minutes in, and I was hating it so much. Hating it. I was so annoyed, and I just remember turning to her and saying, hey, do you, because my grandmother would just watch anything with me, because
Yeah.
and my grandmother, I was like 17, I think, and I was watching it with my grandmother, and I just remember turning to her and I was saying like, do you want me to like put something else on or turn this off? My grandmother just went, please.
Please. Oh my gosh. Yeah, don't show your elderly grandmother Shark Tale. She won't like it.
Well, it's like because I like the live action Scooby-Doo movies. Well, okay. First one I enjoy,
great.
but it's not good. Second one I genuinely like. Like I genuinely
I think
like
they're
the
both
second.
great,
I
but that's just my
genuinely
opinion.
I enjoy the first one, but I'd say the first one is more so bad it's good. Second one I genuinely really like. Like I think the second one is way better.
I mean, the second one is where I think Coolsville Sucks comes from.
It
So
is. It is. I
yeah.
think that's where. And well, also the second one just feels like it was made by people who gave more of a shit about Scooby Doo, because there's so many
Hmm.
more deep cuts and references to the actual material in that one compared to the first one.
Yeah. The reason I think they're both great, I guess, even though I understand what you mean, I think the casting was spot on. I
Oh,
think the
they're perfect.
costuming and the set
I
design
I
was so spot on.
I've always said with the first movie, like again, I think the first movie is fun, but I don't think it's a good movie. I
Hmm.
I will never ever shit on that cast. Like that is the most
Yeah.
perfect people. At the time that movie came out, that was the most perfect cast you ever could have
Hmm.
picked for that movie.
Yeah.
Like everybody. It's like some of the most A+ casting I think I have ever seen in a
Yeah.
movie.
And even the fact that Matthew Lillard went on to just voice Scooby. I mean, Shaggy. I keep calling Shaggy
Okay.
Scooby to voice Shaggy. Like, that's how you know. That's how
Oh,
not even just like the face and body, like, he had the voice spot on too.
I can bring this full circle back to Tim Curry, by the way, which is really funny. You
Okay.
know he was going to be in the first movie, right?
No, what was he supposed to be like the Mr. Bean character?
Yeah, he was supposed to be the villain.
Oh, that would
Uh
have been honestly better than
well,
Rowan
because Tim
Atkinson.
Curry is a huge Scooby Doo fan. That's why he wanted to do it.
Oh.
But the reason that he dropped out was because he found out Scrappy was going to be in it, and he fucking hated Scrappy.
Number one scrappy hater, Tim Curry.
Yes,
That's so funny.
Tim Curry declined being in the movie because he found out Scrappy was going to be in the film.
Oh, Scrappy's gonna be there. I don't want to be in the same room with that dog.
I mean, that twist is pretty stupid. Like,
It is a really stupid
it
twist, and
is a
he's so
really
nasty.
stupid twist. Like,
And there's just the scene where he's just pissing.
oh
Yeah, it's a
god,
great
yeah.
movie though.
uh,
Well, we've had fun.
I was gonna say
To-
that was like 25 minutes of just talking about Scooby Doo. I think.
and yet we've covered so much ground.
Well, and I guess what is it when you were creating the character? I guess what was the ideas originally? Because obviously, I can tell Blue's Clues and Muppets and stuff like that was a very big inspiration for your character.
Yeah, and it wasn't even really like a conscious inspiration that I noted while making my character. My characters evolved from, I mean, like I said, I made my first VTuber models, and they just started as being like a green-haired sheep in socks. And that idea has kind of persisted, also with like a striped shirt on. And it just kind of pulled from like pieces of myself and my own identity. Like I love stripes. I have like over 50 striped shirts. So that's my favorite pattern. So I was like, well, she's got to be in stripes. A sheep, just because I really like sheep and I like the cozy element of that. And honestly, the socks just came from the idea of like, why would I wear shoes? Like I'm streaming like from the comfort of my room. Why would my VTuber model even wear shoes? So she's just gonna be wearing socks. And of course stuff like that kind of developed over time. I am just a big fan of cartoons and like kidcore colorful stuff, and Muppets. So those inspirations definitely just kind of unconsciously went into my design. But I just wanted something that I feel like reflected me as a person, and that's what wound up happening. Every time I would get a new model, I would kind of refine the ideas that I ended up kind of falling into of like being in a house, wearing socks, being kind of like kidcore and like kind of like a kids TV show host. And I'm super happy with where I am now. I have a lot of plans as long as I can uh execute them, because I am just one person. Um and I do make all my stuff myself. Like everything you see on my stream, my backgrounds, my alerts, my redeems, my sub badges, everything, it's all me. And I'm very proud of that. And that being said, it's also very hard because I'm just one person and I
I
have
get blown away
so
when
much
I look
time.
I get blown away when I learn about that, because I remember when I talked to Alpine, I learned like days in advance, because I do research before I do. But what people don't know is I do research before these
I
interviews.
actually do
So
research.
I do have to look the people up. But
Yes.
I remember I was watching videos that Alpine had made, like behind the scenes stuff, and I was just like, this is fucking insane. Like, they made their own software. They were able to
Yes.
like learn how to do this, and I was like, this is insane. Like, not even like, oh, I was originally using this, but then I just decided I'm just gonna make my own software to do this. I'm like, that's crazy,
Alpine
dude. To be able to say
Alpine is
like,
literally amazing.
that's insane to me, to say like, oh yeah, I just VTube Studio wasn't working out, so I just decided I'm just gonna make my own software and develop all this stuff. I'm like, do you hear how fucking crazy that sounds? That's insane. To just say
Literally,
one day.
Alpine, it blows me away every single time I see them post. Like, I'm so honored that I know them, and also so honored that like they've made me like tear up before, because Alpine has said like Jules is like my favorite like comfort streamer to watch. And I'm like, what? Shut up, shut up. And I'm like, that's crazy, because even what Alpine was able to accomplish in like just when they were using VTube Studio was like insane, awe-inspiring, incredible, never done before, incredible. And then it's like they were like this beautiful flower that like outgrew their pot. And they're like, well, I'm just gonna make a new pot to live in then. That's so crazy. And I'm just always in awe like at everything that they do as well, pretty much all by themselves, except for a few things, which I've heard them talk as well, being like, I have a real hard time reaching out and like having other people help me out, or like getting assets for things, because I just want to do everything myself, but I know that I shouldn't.
That's what they said to me. I was just like, oh, I
Yeah.
just like, I like doing all my stuff myself. I'm like, Jesus, that is so much more work to like
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of the same as me too, because unfortunately I'm like, one, I don't have a lot of disposable income, because I am like, this is how I make my money, and it's unfortunately not a lot of money that I make, but I love doing it. But also just that I'm such a perfectionist, like to a fault, where I get scared to hand something off to someone else, because I'm like, they're not going to do it right. They're not going to do it the way I wanted to. And then I'm going to have to take it into my own hands, or I'm going to have to spend all this money and then not end up using it. But I really have to get better about it, because if I'm just one person, then I'm not really going to get anywhere if I'm trying to do everything myself, especially things that I don't have to do all by myself. It's a good thing to learn, I think.
Well, and because you do have like, do you have like a little bit of world building with your character?
Yeah. Yep.
I guess, what was
I'm
it
getting
like
my Budo.
having to figure all that out?
It's actually really fun. It's fun to kind of brainstorm stuff. So I do have a lot of stuff planned that I can't really speak on, because I want it to be a big surprise whenever I get to it. But what I will say is, what is known now is that Julesy Woolsy lived in a far off land. Um, her family was a family of launderers, not money launderers, but like literally like they owned a laundry,
I
a
was about to say,
laundromat, a
her family was
laundrette.
made of laundry.
That would be pretty cool, but
It's like
no,
that adventure,
my
that Adventure Time episode where,
Yes!
where Finn goes to like the pillow world or whatever.
Literally, that episode was like kind of a big inspiration for me. Literally, because it's just so cozy. But my family comes from, a far off land of sheep who, do laundry. They're good at what they do. And Julesy Woolsy grew up always wanting to be on television, have a show of her own, be a star, even though she lived in the middle of nowhere. And she was able to go off to La La Land, and she finally got her big break. And she got a TV show, a kids show called Julesy Woolsy's Happy House. And then only after a few episodes, it was canceled.
And then the analog
Um,
horror set in.
that's what everyone thinks, but no. Basically, what happened after that was, well, she got to keep the house because they didn't have any use for this house set that they were filming in.
Can
So
I
she
live
just kind
here?
of, yeah, she's just like, I'm gonna keep the house, and she's just kind of lived there ever since. Like kind of being like a burnout, like a fail girl burnout, living in her house and kind of just rotting there until she starts streaming, and she's like, I can make my own show on online and just stream it from the house. So this is kind of like Julesy Woolsy's Happy House 2.0, but on twitch.tv/Jules.
Well, I remember Alpine had said like a similar thing of like they were uh they were kind of annoyed at the idea of like people being like, oh well, your character looks like some analog horror thing, like why is this not creepy?
Yeah.
Like, and they were telling me about how annoyed they were at like kind of people, younger people specifically,
Mm-hmm.
perceiving it as like, oh, why is this not creepy? Like, why, like this looks like this should be some analog horror thing. And it's like, things can be
Yeah.
whimsical, children, things can be whimsical. Where is your sense of wonder? Like,
It's definitely like the Five Nights at Freddy's vacation of it all, where, mascot horror is very big and popular right now. So people will see something that is kidcore or like some sort of colorful mascot and just automatically think, oh, this has to be like something horror. This has to be Poppy's Playtime. This has to be Five Nights at Freddy's. It has to be Welcome Home, even though Welcome Home, those are of varying degrees of quality. But I respect that. I love a good mascot horror.
Welcome
But not
Home is
everything has to be
interesting.
that.
Welcome Home is interesting in that it is both really good kidcore and also analog horror.
And also analog
Like,
horror. And people have asked me before, like, is your character inspired by Welcome Home? It's not. It's really not, even though I think Welcome Home is so awesome and I love those designs and I love that world. But I think I started making my VTuber before Welcome Home started being a thing or before I knew about it. But we both definitely have very similar inspirations of like Muppets, kidcore in general, like Blue's Clues, kids programming, stuff like that.
I was gonna say, Welcome Home is
Um,
very, very, very Sesame Street. Like very, very, very Sesame Street coded.
extremely. Oh, and how I love Sesame Street. Ooh. Ooh.
And we could talk again. I could talk for an hour about Muppet shit. We talked for 25 minutes about Scooby Doo. I could talk for an hour about Muppet shit.
Well, I have many Muppets paraphernalia. I have a big vintage cookie jar of Ernie right next to me. Ernie's my favorite. Well, it's so hard to say that Ernie's my favorite when Elmo is there because Elmo is just such a
Sesame
beautiful beam
Street
of light.
is like I like Muppets. I can more easily pick a favorite. I don't. Sesame Street has always been really hard for me to pick a favorite.
Somehow,
Like,
well, my favorite Muppet is Ralph. Ralph the dog. I love him.
well,
He's my
Gonzo is
number one.
Gonzo's my favorite.
That's so easy. Like, it's understandable. Gonzo is so special. And it's also just like Dave Goles has just been the character of Gonzo since the very beginning.
50
We've had so
years.
much
50
time.
years this year.
Right?
50
Oh
years
my
this
gosh,
year.
this year?
Yeah,
Wow.
1976.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we've had Gonzo as the same performer for so long that like
He is the
his own
longest
unique character.
performing Muppeteer for a single character.
I believe it. And
I
it's
think
beautiful. Like, I don't blame
him
anyone.
and Carol Spinney. I think Carol Spinney was also like I think Carol
Big
Spinney was
Bird,
the longest.
for Big Bird and Oscar.
For Big Bird, yeah, I think Carol Spinney was the longest.
That's so incredible. I got
But
to watch Follow That Bird for the first time.
oh yeah, I
Last
saw
week.
that for the first time in full. I think maybe I had seen it once in full, but I didn't remember. I saw it for the first time this year in full.
Same. It was so beautiful and sweet. I just love Big Bird. I love them all. I love Elmo and Grouchland. I grew up watching Elmo and Grouchland like 100 times.
I say
Um,
I've learned to get very, very good. I'd say like because I as a voice actor, everybody can do impressions. Everybody's got a little.
yeah.
I have like Muppet stuff is like the stuff I think I've perfected the most in doing
Oh yeah.
impressions is Muppet stuff.
Like which
Uh,
characters
Weirdly, I
specifically?
can't do Gonzo. My favorite one, and
No,
I can't really do him. Like,
I've been watching what's his name? Sully, like right
oh
before
yeah,
we were recording. I was watching
he
Sully's
just put out a thing
video.
today. I hadn't watched it yet.
Yeah, that's the one. I was watching that video about the new Muppets, or it was like history of the Muppets animatronics in the Disney theme parks. And he said in that video that like he's never heard anyone do a good Gonzo impression. Like
No,
it's just a really hard
Gonzo's hard.
voice.
Gonzo's hard to get into.
Is the
That's,
problem
I mean,
because
that's
like
almost pretty good.
it's that's what it's hard because Gonzo, I'd say like
He's got one of the more unique voices because it goes up and it goes down.
like all the time. I'd say like
Yeah, he's so
I'm
unique.
I'm much better at like the Henson type voices than I
Yeah.
am like Henson and like a couple Frank Oz. I'm normally a
Yeah.
lot better at like Henson type voices because I can't do Sam the Eagle. Sam the Eagle's also really hard.
Yeah, I've never thought about that before.
Yeah,
Such
Sam
a
the
unique
Eagle's really
voice.
hard because it kind of devolves into almost a Kermit voice if you don't do it right.
Really?
Well, because Sam is also really throaty. It's very,
Very throaty, very gravelly, but also
it's
very
ver-
like monotone.
you are all
and stoic.
weirdos. Like it's very back of the throat. I have a friend who can actually do a pretty decent Sam the Eagle, but like I that's like one of the ones I can't do. I can do. I was trying to think. Rolf, Dr. Teeth. I mean, everybody can do Kermit. Everybody can do
Yeah,
Kermit. But like,
everyone has a Kermit in their arsenal.
everybody can do Kermit, but like very few people can do Kermit like perfectly. Let's say Rolf, Dr. Teeth, Fozzie, Piggy. Trying to remember.
Piggy, Hardy Mochi.
Bert and Ernie. Well, Bert, not as much. Bert, I could do Ernie better than I could do Bert.
Yeah, because Ernie is also just like
It's just
kind
a
of
little
classic Jim
less. It's a
Henson.
little more childish Kermit. That's basically what Ernie
Yeah.
is.
Oh, I just love Ernie. Ernie is just the best. And that Ernie as well, like striped shirt. I think like unconsciously I reference Ernie a lot in my design. And just my
'cause
general lifestyle.
I'd say Rolf and Dr. Teeth are probably like two of the ones I can do the best because they're basically the same voice. Like
Yeah,
they're
one's just a little more groovy.
one's more high energy than the other one because it's like you do Dr. Teeth. It's more up here than it is down. It's more up here than it
Yeah.
is down low.
He's so groovy.
Because if you do Rolf the dog, it's down here. Like,
Yeah, yes! Yes!
So you
I'm
do-
snapping.
you take listen, you gotta go down here when you do Rolf the dog because it's a lot more mellowed out. And if you go up higher, then it's Dr. Teeth. If you get up here, then it's Dr. Teeth.
I'm just giggling in childlike delight.
I have been told I can do a good Big Bird from a friend who is obsessed with Big Bird.
Really?
Yeah, I have a friend
Yeah,
where Big Bird
has
is
a
like
special voice.
Big Bird is like her big comfort character, and she says I can do a good Big Bird, even though I had never done it before when she asked me to do it.
Well, I'm seated.
Well, I guess when I do Big Bird, it's kind of in this area.
Jesus Christ! Okay, apparently I can. Okay, like,
How do you work
Big
around
Bird-
here?
It's a pretty damn good Big Bird. You gotta get like kind of the childlike wonder in it, like he's asking everything as a sweet little question. Yeah.
I was gonna say because Big Bird is a lot more innocent. Because I didn't know for a long time that he was a child. I just assumed
Yeah, he's
he just
supposed to
was
be,
really.
like, 3
yeah,
years
he's
old.
supposed to be 6, I think. If I remember
6?
correctly.
Did you know that Grover is supposed to be 5?
Bullshit! No, he's
I
not.
know that, I love
I genuinely,
Grover,
no,
but I take
refuse
issue
to
with
believe
Grover
that.
not being like a grown man. I don't.
No,
to me, Grover is like
no.
a crackhead. My bird just flew into the trash can.
I can't buy that. You tell me Grover is 5. I'm like, okay, well, I think of all the salesman sketches with him and Kermit.
Right?
Like,
he's not a child. He's not a child.
I cannot. Every time I go out, I get that waiter. Like, I can't not think of Grover as like a guy in his mid-20s. Like, I can't.
I know, that's
think
how
of
I
that.
feel too. It's so weird that they're selling the idea of Grover being a child when
I've never heard that
famously has several
before.
jobs. I've never
heard. That'd be kind of like saying Bert and Ernie are like 10. I'm like, no, they're literal roommates. Like,
I gotta fact check me on this.
Bert's got a fucking stamp collection. You know, a 10-year-old that has a stamp collection. Like,
why does it say he doesn't have a definitive age? I just read that he was 5 the other day. I'm lying on a podcast.
I was just saying, am I
lying? To jail.
Where did I hear that? Oh no.
Well, it says Grover is written to represent the psychological age of a 4-year-old.
Okay, that's weird. That's even weirder.
There's a Reddit post that says there is no way that Grover is 4 years old.
Yes, because I don't buy that. Like, I don't buy that at all. He does not come off like that to me. Again, it's like saying Ernie is like 10. Like, I don't buy that. Hi, Bert.
Yeah, he gives wacky uncle. Oh,
yeah.
That's my friend Ernie.
That's what I say. Hi, Bert. How you doing there, Bert? Like, it's... I used to actually, as a stim, I used to do the fucking...
His little laugh.
I used to do that as like a vocal stim when I was in middle school. I would just, whenever I would laugh, I would do the fucking...
That's so good. I don't know why. Just anytime... It's because Muppets and Sesame Street are just so special. Anytime I see a Sesame Street character, I'm just like, I'm filled with so much glee.
Well, it's like Bear in the Big Blue House. That's like another one.
Literally, huge inspiration for me, by the way.
Oh, I could tell that definitely when I watched, I think, a stream of yours. I'm like, this is like, this is 100% Bear in the Big Blue House inspired. Like,
yeah, and I used to have my raid message anytime I'd get a raid. It'd say, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Big Blue House. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Big Blue House. Door is open. Come on in. Now you're here, so let's begin. And then when I would do the little I'd say, hey there, blank. Thank you for the raid.
I fucking hate, because I tried to get Noel McNeil on this podcast, and
He's
it
so
breaks. Great. I want to get him, and he was interested in being on, but because he's through Disney, I had to go to someone at Disney, and they were like, well, D23's coming up, and Noel's going to be there, so he's going to be busy for a bit, but like once that's over, you can get back to us in like a week or two. And I emailed them like 2 or 3 weeks later, and they were like, hey, is Noel available? Nothing.
Come on, but you got Matt Vogel.
Yeah, and here's the thing that I don't know if people know this. Matt Vogel was just a shot in the dark. I did not think I was even going to get him. That was just like, oh, I found Matt Vogel's email. Wouldn't it be funny if Matt Vogel got back to me? That was the most shot in the dark, did not think he was going to get back to me email. Like, that was just like, oh, I found his email. What if I sent him an email? And then he got back to me in like 3 days.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Well, it's funny because I've said this before about the podcast. For every person I get on here, there's like 7 that never get back to me. Like, that's always been the frustration of running a podcast. And I've said, like, you'd think it'd get easier after like over time, because you accumulate like so many people, like especially like the bigger names you accumulate. No. You'd think it'd get easier. It doesn't. Like, it'd probably be easier if I had like 200,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Well, you'll get there. And you got me, Julesy Woolsy, the Julesy Woolsy.
It's like, because I feel like I've talked about this before. The people who do get back and then they never respond. Like, after a while, like, they get back to you, and they're like, yeah, sure, I'd love to come on. I've had 4 or 5 different people who were like, yeah, I'd love to come on your show. And then like we correspond for a little bit, and then they just for some reason ghost me. Like after a while.
That's a shame.
I've had that I think 4 times. And I still think about I think the one I think about the most was everything was set up. Everything. We had a date, we had a time. I had his Skype username because that's what he wanted to use. And
Skype.
Yeah, date, time, the username, I had I had everything planned. And the day of the interview, I shot him an email and I said, "Hey, like just to like for like it was like an hour before the interview, like an hour or two." And I shot him an email saying like, "Hey, like just to let you know, I sent you a friend request on Skype. I've got everything, like I would need like 20 minutes of prep like just before, like is there anything you'd need to do?" Nothing. Emailed him like 40 minutes before the interview saying like, "Hey, just wanted to know, like, did you get my message? Like, blah, 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 blah," because he still hadn't gotten back to me on Skype or in the email. 15 minutes after we were supposed to start,
No.
I sent him another email, like one more, just being like, "Hey, like, if you need to delay this another day, like, just let me know, because, like, I'm willing to blah, 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 blah." Never got back to me again. Just never responded to me again.
It's
I
so
don't know.
sad to be ghosted because, you know, it's pretty easy to just be like, sorry, I have to cancel and sorry, and even if they're not interested anymore.
That's the thing, because it wasn't like we sent each other like one email and that was it. We corresponded, I think, like 4 or 5 emails. Like it wasn't like we spoke like one time and then he just never got back to me. It's like, no, we spoke several times to set everything up. It wasn't like, my only argument is like, I mean, he was in his mid-70s, so like,
oh no,
maybe he was just old and he forgot. Like
maybe
I don't know. Like that was like kind of my only thing.
Super sad though, especially like I've talked to people about this before. This is like kind of morbid, but I can't help but be like hyper aware of the passage of time and like all the creatives and artists and performers that you know and grew up with like are one day not going to be here anymore. So like especially older people, like it's so good to get them on interviews and podcasts to just like pick their brain and be able to discuss things with them while they're still around.
Oh yeah,
it makes me sad.
I have now dealt with 2 people I have interviewed passing away. So,
oh gosh.
Not like died tragically young. They were both old.
Yeah.
But Jack Angel, who did a ton of stuff in like the 70s and 80s, he passed away in 2020. Or 2021. He was 91 when he passed.
My gosh.
I interviewed him in like 2016. And I'm trying to even think. He was in like Transformers and G.I. Joe and like Ben 10 and Darkwing Duck and like tons of stuff. He told me like so many cool stories because he was old. Like he was really, really old. So I could hear all this stuff about like what was it like in the 1960s, like working on this kind of stuff, or what was it like in the 70s when you were working on these kind of projects. And it was just like getting to talk to somebody who was like that old was just kind of the other thing.
And they have so many stories and things to tell, which is super important to keep remembering and like, you know, have on the internet.
Oh, and we talked.
I don't know.
We talked for like 40 minutes after the podcast ended. Was the other thing. Like me and him talked about just other stuff, and he told me all these stories about people who'd been dead for like 40 years. Like these stories about people. I remember he was asking me like, "Oh, well, who are inspirations you've had, like voiceover wise, and like older people?" And I was like, well, one of my big ones is Paul Winchell, like the voice of Tigger, the original voice of Tigger.
Wow, the original voice of Tigger. Wow.
Yeah, no, he was a big inspiration
it's been so
for
long.
me.
Like, I didn't even know that someone else voiced Tigger other than Jim Cummings. I'm gonna have to in the original movie.
Paul Winchell played Tigger up until like 1999.
until Jim took over.
Yeah, well, because Paul had a stroke in the late 90s, and so he basically told Jim that he would have to take over the role.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But I remember Jack Angel was just telling me these stories because he knew Paul Winchell.
What?
And he was
That's
telling
so
me these
awesome.
stories about Paul's career and stuff, and he was just like, because Paul Winchell was a ventriloquist before he did voiceover. That's what he was known for.
Awesome.
And he was just like, oh yeah, I knew Paul, and I remember he was like one of the people who was really pushing for like home media at the time because he famously got screwed over by a studio he worked with. And so like he was telling me like, did you know that most of his stuff is lost media? And I was like, well, to what degree? I was like, well, so he had a legal dispute with a company he worked with who had the rights to his TV shows. And out of spite, the TV studios destroyed the negatives to all of his shows.
No. I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah.
That's so upsetting.
A lot of Paul Winchell's like old stuff is just gone. Like a lot of it is gone. Like has not been preserved or it's just been destroyed.
I hate when not only stuff like old footage is destroyed, but when it just gets like taped over for something else because they only had like limited reels.
Oh, I remember learning that apparently a lot of the original Doctor Who that happened because BBC didn't give a shit about preservation in the 60s and 70s. Mm-hmm. So they would just tape over old episodes of Doctor Who in their film archive.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of original episodes of Doctor Who that are just gone because they taped over them.
Which is crazy because Doctor Who is Doctor Huge. It's like still such a long-standing thing to this day. They were so bad about it back then. There is a like a very classic Japanese puppet show called Hyokari Hyotanjima, I believe, that had over 1,000 episodes, and to this day,
let me guess,
I think
like more than half of them are gone.
Like 20 episodes are preserved now because they would just they only had so many film reels. They're just like, well, just tape over them. And it was this like very important show. I feel like, you know, it was like a long running classic, and it's just so sad. Like I've had that feeling of like, oh, I remember this thing that I watched as a kid and just trying to look into it and like can't find anything about it. It makes you feel insane. And also it's so comforting to revisit old media like that and important.
I just think, well, there's there's a thing of Paul Winchell, like an old photo of him.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, no, you look at like some of the stuff that has been preserved. I don't know how he was even able to do some of the shit he did because he had a show with his puppets. It wasn't like him performing with the puppet. It was like the puppet was like a character and he was like living with them like a roommate.
Wow, I love that.
And this was in like the 60s, like the early 60s, late 50s. And he was doing shit like that. I still don't know how he was able to do things with these puppets. Like just
so cool.
And
like classic stuff.
But funny, I actually have an autograph from him.
You do? Awesome.
I bought it on eBay. Somebody had it framed, and it was a personalized autograph to I don't know who they were, but it was a personalized like message and autograph to someone that someone just had in their possession, and they had it framed. And I was like, I'm buying that. It was like $20, like $25. And it was just, and it was it was a ballpoint pen autograph. It wasn't even like a Sharpie. Yeah, no, you can tell when you look at it, it was very clearly like a ballpoint pen or something like that.
I wonder when it was from. Now you got me thinking how long Sharpies have been around for. I've never thought about anything like that.
Well, and another person, Tom Weiner was his name, old anime voice actor, was on stuff like Digimon and Cowboy Bebop and tons of stuff in like the 80s and 90s, like Power Rangers, and he was a director at Fox Kids in the 90s. So he like directed a bunch of the anime stuff they were doing, and he passed away I think 2 years ago.
Oh no.
And I had
That's
only
amazing.
interviewed him, I think, 2 years prior.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
And
good that you were able to
he,
get to him.
yeah, no. Well, I got to him. It was actually crazy how I got to him. So I knew somebody in a server I was in, and I was just talking about like, oh, there's people I've wanted to get on the podcast and blah, 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 blah. And I mentioned Tom Weiner, and I was like, I've always wondered what happened to him because he kind of disappeared after the mid 2000s. And somebody in this call was like, oh, he's my acting teacher.
What? That's
Yeah.
so cool.
So they gave me his fucking business card. Like, well, the info on his business card. And they were like, oh, so he's not even going by Weiner. It was like Wiener. Like,
Why?
it was like,
Why?
I don't know. Well, because he was born like Tom Weiner. That was his name. But I guess he changed his name to
okay.
Weiner in like the 80s. And he was going under that as like an acting or a vocal coach. And she gave me his number, and I sent him an email, and she was, and he was like, hey, yeah, so I'm not really good with my email. Can I give you my phone number? And so I had to like text him over the phone, and he was like, hey, can you call me real quick? So I spoke to him over the phone to explain how my podcast worked, and I was an anxious wreck because I did not expect to speak to him over the phone. He just called me on my phone when I was talking to him, and he was like, all right, now explain how your podcast works to me. I'm like, okay. So
Very
I'm just
chill
being
and casual.
well, I was intimidated as fuck because I've never had that before, where somebody was just like, hey, I'm going to call you on your phone. Explain to me how your podcast works. I'm like,
And phone calls
okay.
can be scary, even if
oh,
you're
it
a
was
podcaster.
scary because I was just like, I've never had to like verbally speak to somebody before the interview before. Like, I've never had to like verbally talk to them. Like, and I had to like explain it to him over the phone how the interview like would work and this and this and this. And he was like, all right, well, here's my days, here's my times. And oh God, it was crazy that I was able to even get him. Because, again, that was just pure happenstance that fell into my lap. And also the fact that he passed away 2 years after I did it.
That's really cool that you were able to do that. It's crazy what kind of opportunities you can get just by having like one person, knowing one person who knows another person who knows another person.
Oh, I've gotten a few people because of that. Like,
Yeah.
it really helps when you know people.
On this big, beautiful world where we're all holding hands in a circle around it. That's how I view things, by the way.
I wish that's how the world worked.
Oh, I wish it, we can hope. If not today, then someday.
The future.
Peace is nice. Peace is nice. Peace is better than chicken and rice.
I knew that's where that was going. I was like, wait, where's it going? Where's it going?
I love Enter the Florpus Invader Zim. That's such a good movie.
That's such a perfect like ending to that show. I was so happy. That and the Rocco movie that they did, the Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah, that one was really fun.
I was so happy with both of those, and I'm so happy they both ended. Like it was just nice to just have a really solid ending to those TV shows, or just to see those characters again like one more time. Rocco especially, because I fucking love Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah, Rocco is great. I grew up being a little scene kid, loving Invader Zim like more than anything.
Oh,
And
I
it was
adored
so
Invader Zim.
cool. I love the way in Enter the Florpus that they kind of tweaked the style. Like it's still
They
so
did.
quintessential Invader Zim, but the colors are so like vibrant and purpley.
The
and
very
awesome.
bisexual lighting in that
Yeah,
special.
yeah.
I noticed there's a
love it.
lot of very bisexual lighting in Enter the Florpus.
It really is, and not only the coloring and the lighting, but like even just the shape work is really different. Like kind of a little more rounded, but still like so.
It's very
staying true to
yeah.
the
It's a
style.
lot more soft compared to the original designs,
Mm-hmm.
which I will admit I would have really been curious to see how the original style would have translated to a modern aesthetic. I would have been really because I love how Florpus looks. I adore that original style. I love that
It's
very
the best.
angular, that jagged, angular
Yeah.
style
Thick
that the
line
original
art.
show had. Yeah.
It's so of its time, which like I could see some people being really mad about the way they changed it in the movie, but I think that it's a really good reflection of like the passage of time. Like they
Well,
didn't
yeah.
change it
I
drastically.
I remember Jonan did an interview and they talked about that, and he had said that the original show was how my style looked at the time, and Florpus is how my style looked at the time. Like it
Yeah,
was
I think that's so cool.
like, because it had been 17 years since Invader Zim premiered, and his style had changed a lot since the original series.
I respect that a lot because, you know, in the age of reboots, it's like I'm sure they're trying to reach back at the original and be like, we have to do everything exactly the same so that, you know, we get the viewers and their nostalgia. But like, why do we have to live in the past? Like, we
Well,
can bring something
that's
back
interesting.
and
Like
make it
that's the
modern.
interesting thing about Static Cling, the Rocco special,
Yeah,
because that
yeah.
also looks very 1-to-1 to the original show, but it's a little softer.
And yet,
It is
yeah, and
it
also
is a
just the
little
content of
softer.
it. It's so acknowledging the passage of time. It's so cool.
I was surprised how woke it was. Honestly, I was
So
kind
woke.
of I was shocked that with the what was it Rachel, that was trying to remember her name.
Yeah.
I was
love
shocked
her.
at that. I was wondering if that was the reason it took a while for it to air, though. That I had
I
been
don't
wondering
know.
that, because that thing had been finished for 2 years before it aired.
Yeah. Yeah.
It had
I
been
love it
finished.
though. I'm so glad that they did that. I mean, happy Pride Month. We love
Oh,
to see
happy
trans
Pride.
representation.
Happy Pride.
Happy
But
Pride, everybody.
happy Pride. Dude, every Pride, that's a running gag with me and my friends. Anytime something gay is referenced in anything, we just stop and go, happy Pride. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Looks into
Happy
the
Pride.
camera. Happy Pride, everybody.
You know, that's what I do. Happy
Pride.
Pride.
Clasps my hands. Yes. Happy Pride Month to everybody out there.
But like I had always wondered if that was one of the reasons that special took so long to come out, because that and Florpus I think were both finished at like the same time, and then they just didn't air. Like they were
Really?
yeah, well I remember Joe Murray had talked about how it had been finished I think in like late 2016, early 2017, something like that. I think it had been finished in like early to mid 2017. And Nickelodeon was just sitting on them for like 2 years, just did not
as
release
companies
them.
tend to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just
And-
glad that they were released eventually because like Disney it's like, oh, we're canceling these things. We're not releasing this because it has
HBO.
a trans character in it.
It's
Yeah.
like Disney, HBO, everything is getting fucking canceled now. Like,
Yeah.
well, it's I had heard the main reason that apparently those two specials didn't air, because they were supposed to air on TV. They were supposed to air on Nickelodeon, because the Hey Arnold Jungle movie
The Hey
aired on
Arnold, the Jungle
Nickelodeon.
movie, yeah.
That was supposed to air, like the Rocco and Zim specials were supposed to air on TV. Supposedly it was because the Hey Arnold movie didn't do as well as they hoped it would when it aired.
Yeah. I mean,
Like-
airing on TV, that's so funny because like kids these days aren't really gonna know about Hey Arnold probably, even though it was very much like a
Well, and Hey
major
Arnold is still
show.
very readily available, is the other thing.
Yeah, like on streaming services.
On streaming and also DVDs. Like,
It's just funny to ask like adults that probably don't have cable to watch this movie on cable.
well, it was in 2017. It was, I think, in 2017, so or 2016. So I guess you could make the argument that like
I guess more people had cable.
more people had TV back then. Because I remember when it aired, I remember seeing people talking about it on my feed. Like, so I knew people were watching it.
I still haven't watched it.
It's so good.
Although,
It's so good.
I need to watch it. I did watch the Hey Arnold movie a lot, like the original movie.
I had
a
never
lot. I
seen
had
it
on
until like a
DVD.
few years ago, because I had just always heard it was bad. Like for a long
Really?
time.
What?
I had always
I
heard
didn't
it was
know what people thought of it.
Well, I know critics fucking hated it when it came out.
Wow.
But I remember I never watched it because I liked Hey Arnold, but I didn't really get into Hey Arnold as a kid, like
That's
comparative
how
to
I
some
kind
other
of feel
stuff.
about it too.
And
I don't know how I got the DVD.
it's only been in the last few years that I've gotten more into Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold is a shockingly adult show.
It
like,
is.
for the
It's
time
so
it was made.
serious. It's like a kid's cartoon, but the tone is like very grounded.
Well, it's and not
honestly
even
really crazy.
not even like adult, like in the sense of like raunchy or offensive. Like no,
Yeah.
just in like treating children like giving children genuinely very serious discussions about certain things.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
it's really important.
Like I still think about the Birdman episode a lot when I think about that show, the homeless man that he befriends. Like that is a depressing as fuck episode.
Yeah. There's so many episodes like that just handling really serious subject matter like very gracefully and beautifully.
Well, I
It's
think it
great.
was
I'm glad there's a show like that.
what was because I remember I was talking to Alpine, I think they had mentioned like kids don't really like watch TV anymore. Like or they don't like not even like regular TV, like just in general. They just don't watch streaming or certain things like that cuz I remember they were telling me, I think they were at their job and they were talking to somebody about not SpongeBob, but it was like it was Nickelodeon, just Nickelodeon in general.
Yeah.
And or the Canadian equivalent of Nickelodeon.
Teletoon, I don't know.
That's Cartoon Network. I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't remember. YTV, I think, was Nickelodeon. But I remember Alpine was telling me that, and they were saying to their coworker who was like 18, 19, they were talking to them about like, oh, YTV and Teletoon, and they were like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like,
What? And they're 18?
18, 19, something like that. And I'm like, that'd be like talking to like. That I just can't comprehend the idea of like a 19-year-old not watching like Cartoon Network or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
well, times a changing.
I'm like 19. That was 2007. Like
I do really honestly I think it's so sad the way that television is going. Not that like, you know, it's all a construct. Like there's a lot of possibilities and opportunities for people on the internet to, you know, get their stuff out there, and that's really really cool. But genuinely, as a child, I think it's like the way that Sesame Street was like airing on television, like public television on PBS, so that kids could get good, like thoughtful, well-made, creative content. It's just so crazy to imagine that kids these days are being raised on iPads, just like clicking on whatever on their on YouTube.
oh, we
when-
had the same conversation.
Yeah.
Well, because there
Alpine
was
and I are very similar.
there was a clip I saw of Little Bear going around yesterday, and it was just a clip of him talking to his dad about breakfast, and it was like no music, just them having this little casual conversation about making breakfast, and it was like a minute long, and I was just watching this and I'm like, they would never make a show like this now. Like just
Yeah.
quiet. Like, and I'm not saying like, oh, there's not good kids content. There's Bluey. There is very good
Yeah.
kids content. It's just I can't imagine making a low stimulation cartoon with like barely any music where there's just casual conversation between a child and a parent. Like I can't, it's like that and Franklin and Arthur and like those
Yeah.
kind of shows. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I really miss there being curated content for kids, I guess.
well,
like a
had
line of good shows that
What?
you know will teach your kids and entertain them well and not
Well,
give
I
them
said that-
slop.
I brought up last time, there's like no websites for kids anymore. I don't mean like Roblox. I don't mean Roblox.
No,
I mean like
Club Penguin.
CartoonNetwork.com, Club Penguin, Nick.com, Neopets. Like none of that stuff. I mean, Neopets still exists, but like none of those
Yeah.
things exist anymore. there's no
No,
like
you're
place for
tapping into
kids
the
to
vein
go.
of conversation that I am I talk about all the time. I'm so passionate as a child who was raised on the internet. I'm so passionate about children also who are also being raised on the internet and having like good safe places to talk. And there's none of them. Like everyone is being hoisted onto the internet and living on the internet, and yet they're trying to do like, oh, well, upload your government ID. And it's like, yeah, for what? Like, what are the kids supposed to do? Tap on YouTube all day?
Well, that's what I'm
Like, we
saying is
need
that
good websites for
it
them.
frustrates me that there is just no attempt to curate kids content for like websites anymore. There's no Cartoon Network, there's no Flash is dead.
Flash
So
is dead.
you
Unless you
have
have
to
Ruffle.
unless you have Flashpoint, like the app, or if
Yeah.
you have Ruffle or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, Ruffle's
like
good too.
that's
But there's still
it's
like nowhere good to go for that, like that's hosting those things. Like for the most part, like kids aren't going to have websites like that. And it's so sad because I don't know what they're supposed to do. Like they can't help but go on the internet now, but
Cool
no
Math
one is catering to
Games.
them. Is that up still? I don't
I
know.
learned that still exists
Well,
recently.
that's awesome.
I did not know until like a week or two ago because I saw a friend playing Suika Game on
Oh,
coolmathgames.com.
Suika? Suika
Yeah,
on Cool Math Games?
they were
That's
playing
awesome.
Suika on Cool Math Games, and I literally looked at their share screen and I was like, "Are you on fucking coolmathgames.com?" And they were like,
That's
"Yeah."
a
I was
real
like,
one.
"That still exists?" Like,
Well, at least we got that one.
well, I
And
was
like
shocked
Club
when I found out
Penguin,
Neopets still exists. I was
yeah,
shocked about
Neopets is
that.
still up. I don't really know if like the soul of Neopets is still there because I know that they've had a lot of things change over the years. So like
They
it's I guess it could be safe for kids still, but like stuff like Club Penguin, like websites that have shut down for kids, like virtual worlds that
Roblox
are
is not what
still
it was
up.
15 years ago.
Roblox is not safe for kids, and yet like every kid is on Roblox, and
No,
I'm
that
very
because I
scared all the
remember
time.
I used Roblox when I was like 13, 14. Like Roblox 16 years ago is not the Roblox it is now. Like Roblox back
It's a
then,
different beast.
that's the thing. Roblox back then was just actually just kids. Like that's all it was
Yeah.
actual kids using it. And now it's
Yeah.
not that at all.
It's very scary. It's very scary. I don't think that they have good child safety measures. We need that. I don't know. I'm hoping that in the future, I don't know what's gonna change. I try to be hopeful.
I try.
Everyone on the planet holding hands together in a circle.
Singing
But
Kumbaya.
singing peace is nice. Peace is better than chicken and rice. I hope we get there. I hope that good people are put in charge that actually like think about the safety of children in this world. Kicks a rock.
I did want to ask with your streams because I was
Yeah.
curious. The 2 times that I watched your streams, it's a very weird question. What is up with the spoons?
Spoons. So I do a game called Spoonorama on my stream once a week. Usually, we used to do it once a day, and then every stream. Then I realized, maybe this is too many spoons. But Spoonorama kind of just came from an idea where I just like collecting fun spoons. I don't collect a lot of things, but I like collecting fun, colorful spoons because I like eating ice cream. And I like eating my ice cream with a fun spoon. So it's just kind of an idea that popped into my brain. Oh, I have all these fun spoons. Maybe we could make a little game out of it. A little gambling game with our channel points. Not real money. Not real money. It's not really like a thing. I mean, I guess it is a thing. It's just my thing, socks and spoons. But I just like everything else, I just kind of wander into it, and I'm like, oh, I guess this is a thing now. Spoonorama. So basically, I'm a genius.
Are those like with the pictures? Are those like PNGs you find, or are those actually the pictures of the spoons that you have?
Oh, they're actual. Yeah, I've taken pictures of every spoon in my collection, and they're put in a randomizer. So any picture of a spoon you see in Spoonorama, those are pictures of my spoons. And whichever spoon wins Spoonorama is the spoon that I use to eat my ice cream. If I eat ice cream.
Do you
between
have?
that time.
I was curious because I remember seeing some of the spoons you have. Do you have the Treasure Planet cereal spoons?
No. I gotta look
You
those
don't.
up.
You don't have the Treasure Planet cereal spoons. That's like
No.
all I. When I saw like you had some obscure shit like the Alvin and the Chipmunks ass spoons, I was like, there's some they've got some like obscure spoons.
Ooh.
I remember the Treasure Planet cereal spoons, and they sucked ass because they were so small. But
They look
I
stupid, like stupid awesome. But
I
most
I
of the
just
spoons I have are from Menchie's and Yogurtland because they're similar sizes. But I want to collect more weird spoons. As
I
well.
remember I had the Ben one specifically, the one on the left. That's the one I
That's
distinctly
just a
remember having.
shovel of a spoon.
It is.
That's
It was
like
just
the
a
way this thing is
shovel.
shaped. I want the morph one, the pink
I
one.
hate the morph one. The morph.
I love that's my favorite one. I want that one.
I don't like that Long John Silver being like white
His
chocolate.
arm?
Like, well, the arm idea I like. It's just I think it's weird that it's not like a gray color. It's like pure white. Like
It looks almost a little silver to me, but I wonder. Well, it kind of has like a metallic sheen, just like the Ben one does. I want that morph spoon. I don't know if they'd fit in my raffle. They're like so wide, but you also said that they're small, so
I remember them being really small. I'm trying to see if there's like a picture of like one next to an actual spoon or like something for comparison's sake. Oh yeah, that does
yeah.
look. I did find a picture of it next to like other spoons, and I'm like
I found a picture of one next to a ruler.
that
You know,
does look
just
really
the size
small.
of them. It seems to be.
It's
I'm
like
doing the math
like a
'cause they didn't
baby
even put it all the
spoon.
way. Yeah, but good to eat ice cream. You know, if you eat something with a small spoon, then it's kind of like you're having more food because you're taking smaller bites. That's how it works, right?
That's how math works.
I think so. I think that's how it works. It's like 4 inches long. Wait, four? That is really small.
I was gonna say that's like a baby spoon.
That's really
like that's
small.
really small.
Hey, more food. That means more food.
I just
should
remember
get them.
I just remember I had the Ben one, and I remember it would take a fucking eternity to eat cereal with it because it was so small.
Can have like 3 individual little pieces in
Like
the spoon
5
at a time.
Cheerios per scoop.
Well, that's what it's made for, I think. Didn't it come with the cereal?
Oh, it came with the cereal. It was a cereal box spoon. Like it was
They
one of those
engineered
like
that spoon for you to eat cereal with perfectly, so I don't know why you're complaining.
See, I want to know how much the morph one could hold because that one just looks really flat to me looking at it.
It looks awesome. I love that his face is the spoon and I can put him in my mouth. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get that spoon. I'm gonna try. I do have I do like to just list random spoons that I find like on eBay on my throne. And I call it Spoonorama DLC. So if people buy me more spoons, then it's put into Spoonorama as a potential spoon. And soon, as part of something I unlocked for my subathon, we're gonna be doing a special stream called Spoonodrama, where it's like Spoonodrama. It's like an awesome tournament where people get to vote. We put 2 spoons.
Oh, is it a
against each other.
bracket?
Yeah, it's like a bracket tournament where the king of spoons will be voted on and chosen and crowned. So I'm very excited for that. We have, for some reason, through Spoonorama, we've had some spoons that people just start having vendettas against. And they're like, I fucking hate that spoon whenever
Well,
I
does
pull
it
it
like
out.
win? Does it win all the time or like?
Yeah, either it wins or like they vote for it and they lose, so they just get mad. People do not like my Emoji Movie spoon, which is one of my favorite spoons because 1, it's yellow, which is my favorite color. 2, it's the Emoji Movie, so that's really funny, and it's the meh emoji. And 3, on the handle it says "so epic" on the spoon.
Is it a cereal spoon? Like, was it a cereal spoon or was it like?
It was
did you
for
like
frozen yogurt.
Okay.
It was from Menchie's, I think. Yeah,
was
so
gonna
most of mine, like I
say,
said, are from Menchie's and Yogurt Land, so like frozen yogurt like crossovers that they did for special spoons. So they're like not freakishly shaped like the like the Treasure Planet spoons. They're kind of just normal spoons with like a little thing on top, which I like. But I also like weird shaped spoons. I don't know. Spoons are awesome. I love like little trinkets that are also like used for a purpose, which is why I like collecting spoons because they're fun, but you also get to eat with them. So they're not just like useless crap that's sitting around on a shelf. Even though I have a lot of that too. I have a lot of useless crap sitting on a shelf in my room.
do you
And I
have
love
any
it.
like ancient, like 100-year-old, like silver spoons, like one of those kind of things?
No, not yet.
It's like
100 years old?
this was a silver spoon used for stirring tea in the royal family's quarters, like that kind of thing, like some fancy ass old like spoons.
I guess I'm not interested in those kinds of spoons. If it is, it should be in a museum and not
I
be
want a cartoon.
used to eat my
I
ice
want my
cream.
cartoony ass spoons. I don't want that fancy shit.
Exactly. I want silly spoons. Silly spoons with Julesy. Now it's time for Julesy to use a silly spoon.
And now it's time for silly spoons with Julesy, the part of the show
Yeah.
where Julesy uses a silly spoon.
Exactly. I did grow up with so much VeggieTales. And 3-2-1 penguins.
I've tried to actually get the creator of VeggieTales like 2 different times for this podcast.
What's his name? Phil?
Phil Vischer.
Phil Vischer?
I am not a religious man, but I grew up on VeggieTales, and I've always championed VeggieTales as like the one of the only genuinely good Christian animated pieces of media. Like one of the only genuinely good religious pieces of media because it puts making good content over religious propaganda.
Before the religious propaganda.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's-
It's really more common than you would think that kids who weren't even religious were watching VeggieTales growing up and didn't even know that it was a religious show to begin with, because it was just like you said, it was just making fun good content for kids before the propaganda.
That's always been my philosophy, is that if you're making something religious, the first thing you should be doing is making it good. Like that is my opinion.
3-2-1 Penguins, which was also made by Big
I never
Ideas.
watched it. I remember like commercials for it, but I never did watch it.
It's great. I love it.
Is it the same type of thing? Because I always thought when I looked at 3-2-1 Penguins, I'm like, is it math based? I thought it would be like math related or something because there were numbers in the title.
They teach lessons and morals in the same way that VeggieTales did. There is the only really religious part, because most of the time they're teaching things from the Bible, but really it's like more so like morals that are not particularly religiously linked, just like not lying and having compassion and being honest and all that. At the end of every episode, there is a scene where the 2 children get on their knees and pray to God every night, but that's the extent of it. Like in the same way that at the end of a VeggieTales episode, they'd be like, here's a verse from the Bible. But other than that, it's great. It's so fun. It's not math, really. It's like wacky hijinks, and it's all on YouTube. Every episode, there wasn't that many, like 20 something episodes. It's all on YouTube. And it's so fun. It's so fun. I love it.
Well, it's like that, and I've always said one of the best animated movies ever made is Prince of Egypt, which again,
incredible.
I've always said
Not religious.
I'm not religious, but fuck me, man, that is an amazing movie. Like that is, I stand by arguably the best looking 2D animated movie ever made. Like,
so gorgeous. Thank you, James Baxter.
I thought you were about to say thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. I love Prince of Egypt. I'm gonna take a stand and say I've always been more of a Road to El Dorado girl, but I love Prince of Egypt.
I do
so
like
much.
El Dorado, but God, Prince of Egypt, that movie fucks so hard. Oh
No, yeah, I can't disagree with anyone who's like, that's That's the greatest animated movie. I'm not gonna argue with
It's not
anyone.
like
It's
my
great.
favorite animated movie ever made, but I would definitely say it's contender for like top 10, top 15, like
Like
best
the
animated
most
movies ever made.
beautiful. Yes,
Also
yes.
music.
And it really plays it straight. Yeah, the music is great. I'm playing with the big boys now.
I remember finding out years ago. I was shocked to learn that I did not know that was the same guy who did all the music for Wicked.
Oh yes, Steven Schwartz. Steven Schwartz wrote the music.
And then I found out not long after. I was like, "Oh, I didn't know he also did the music for Hunchback of Notre Dame." That makes a lot of sense now that I think about it, because they both have very similar types of music.
Yeah, and Hunchback is great too, of course.
That's
Steven
also
Schwartz.
contender for one of my favorite animated movies.
I don't blame you, even though I do not fuck with the gargoyles.
That's top See, the gargoyles never bothered me like they do other people.
I think it's just, they just really, to me, feel like they just had to put them in for
like
comic relief. But I also understand the plot.
I get people like being annoyed that they feel out of place. Like, I get it, but they never really bothered me. Like, I get the criticism, but they don't really bother me like other people.
Sing their song.
Oh no, that's the one part of the movie I do skip. Is the song.
Oh, they never really bothered me, but I do skip their song.
I do skip the song because the song is not that great. The song isn't that great. Like,
yeah, when it comes to Disney movies, I mean, it's gotta be Beauty and the Beast for me.
I'd say my top 5. Hercules. Well, I'd say bottom to top. Hercules, Beauty and the Beast, Hunchback, Mulan, Treasure Planet. That's like my top 5.
Oh, 5 is hard.
Do 3. I was gonna say just do 3.
Beauty and the Beast. I love Tangled. Okay, I just love Tangled. And what's the third? Oh, it's so hard. My brain goes Goofy movie. I love Goofy
we're going outside of the canon lineup if we go Goofy
Yeah,
movie.
I guess technically, since it's like Disney Toon animation. They did so good though.
I was gonna say, because that one is not part of, I guess, the canon Disney like lineup or whatever, because it's like tied to a TV show, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's so hard. I also love. It's literally so hard. I love Little Mermaid. I don't know.
Well, it's like it's Goofy movie is very weird for me because I do like it. It's a good movie. I do like it. I just don't fucking adore it like so many people
That's
do.
Okay.
It's good. I do like it, but I don't know. It's kind of been one of those movies I've never really understood the mass appeal. Like, I like it. It's good. I just don't understand, like, we're gonna make a documentary on Disney Plus about the fan love for this movie, and like,
yeah, I think that it definitely it's garnered like a very much like nostalgia pilled audience.
Oh, it's
like,
very
90s, baby.
It is the most mid-90s ass animated movie. Like, it is like very, very of the times, like 90s animated kids movie. Not to like a cringy degree, which I'm kind of shocked that it's not.
Yeah.
Like, but the two 90s time capsule animated movies I always point to, and they're both two ends of the spectrum. Goofy movie, which is a good movie, and Space Jam. Those are like
Space Jam, yeah.
Space Jam is the opposite end of the spectrum with Goofy movie, where Goofy movie is 90s as fuck, but a surprisingly good movie, and Space Jam is 90s as fuck, but I like Space Jam, but it is not a
movie.
I like Space Jam, but it is not a good movie.
It's not a good movie. It also kind of feels like nothing ever happens in that movie. Like, I'm trying to remember, it's like, okay,
Michael Jordan gets kidnapped and he has to play basketball for some aliens.
What's his name? What's like the guy who's from Jurassic Park and he's also there for
some
reason?
Wayne Knight.
Wayne Knight is there, and he both gets flattened and pumped up big and round.
That movie's really fetishy when you go back to
Well,
it.
once again, it's like, it didn't do that because it was a fetish. People got fetishes because of it.
Lola, I think about where would the furry community be if Lola Bunny never existed?
I knew I loved her from the moment I saw her. She was the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
I find it really funny because I remember watching like a whole behind the scenes of the production. If you know the production of that movie, you know that movie was a fucking nightmare to make.
I should learn more about it.
Oh, the director of that movie knew fucking nothing about animation, like at all.
What?
Yes, they got a guy who directed commercials to direct that movie.
That's insane.
He had never directed a film. He had only directed commercials, and he directed the Air Jordan commercials, like the thing that inspired the movie. So they were like, hey, let's get the guy who made the commercials with Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny to direct it. He knew fucking nothing about animation, and he was from what I have known from all the animators that have talked about the movie, he was such an asshole. Like psychotic asshole to the animators because they would have to they'd have to green screen everything. So Michael Jordan would be playing in a green screen room with a bunch of guys in like green screen suits, like so he could they could animate around him or like coordinate the footage. And Joe Pytka would go to the animators and be like, all right, so you're going to animate this character going in front of Michael and going around him while he's doing this and this, and you're going to have the green screen guy doing this thing while you animate over him. And the animators had to literally tell him, that's not how it works. Like, he clearly had like no understanding of how animation works, and they would have to constantly tell him that's not how it works, that like we can't do this. Like that that's going to cost
horrible.
Oh, and what he would do, he would just cuss him out and tell him, I don't fucking care, do it. Like, he would just, like, constantly, just verbally abuse the animators.
This is, like, the dark version of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Basically. And that movie was also a fucking nightmare to make.
Well, I'm sure, but it was so worth the effort.
It was worth the effort. It was much more worth the effort. I think it was like Roger Rabbit, I think like went overtime on the animation multiple times, and also the constant having to use live action reference and building sets for people, like so they could kind of like a Muppet movie in a lot of ways. They had to like build sets around the characters that the people couldn't see, basically. That's
so awesome. That's just so smart. It's just like fun creative ways like that get the best stuff, in my opinion.
Like, I enjoy Space Jam just for it is like the most
novelty
90s ass time capsule. That and the soundtrack is really good. I think the Space Jam soundtrack is like the best thing to come out of that movie. It's legitimately a really good soundtrack, and it's also a very
other than Space Jam.
It's also a very 90s time capsule of like R&B music, because it's like all of the biggest like R&B and like rappers at the time on the soundtrack.
I do remember I Believe I Can Fly. That was on it. Just that and Space Jam. That's all I remember.
Yeah,
and
the I Believe I Can Fly.
Rewatching it.
I Believe I Can Fly, which now has the unfortunate stigma of being tied to R. Kelly.
I always forget that's by him.
Yeah. I hate that R. Kelly was legitimately really talented. I hate that.
It sucks.
Like,
it does suck when someone who makes really good art turns out to not be a good person. It's a shame.
Have you ever, we're talking about like nightmare productions, you know Alf, the fucking show from the 80s?
Yes.
Do you know how much of a fucking nightmare that show was to make? It's genuinely really funny.
I've heard whispers, because like I've never even watched the show myself, even though Alf has
it's fun. It's corny as hell, but it's a very fun show. So they would have to Muppet the studio, so there'd be holes in the ground, like for the puppet. The creator of Alf is a guy named Paul Fusco. And Paul Fusco has to this day, this very weird obsession with making people believe Alf is real. And he has always refused to ever show himself with the puppet.
It's like
Like,
the way that Disney was trying to convince everyone that like the Muppets are real people. And I do actually really enjoy that. Like,
I
oh,
do like
the
that,
Muppets
but
are all real, but
Paul
he's
Paul
going a little far with
Fusco
it.
Paul Fusco was, because here's like, Alf was like the #1 TV show for like 2 or 3 years. Like, Alf was a like iconic pop culture symbol in the 80s. And
Yeah.
they tried to get him to host SNL 2 different times as Alf.
Tried.
Yes, tried. And Paul Fusco had these crazy ass demands where he would say like, okay, so we're going to need to raise the set like 10 feet off the ground. And we're going to have to do that for every sketch. We're going to have it so there's like barriers around me so nobody ever sees me when I'm operating the puppet. Like, the audience would not even see him. Like,
Okay.
he was so obsessed with keeping Alf like a puppet, like refused to show his face, that SNL literally had to tell him that's going to be way too expensive. Like, we can't do that. We're literally going to have to raise all of our sets like 10 feet off the ground. We're going to have to basically hide you from the audience the entire time. Like, we can't do that. That's crazy that you think that. And then they went back to him 2 years later thinking, oh, maybe he's mellowed out by now. No, he had literally all the exact same demands. Like,
That's a shame. I kind of respect him for wanting to be, like I said earlier, I'm a perfectionist. Like, I respect him for like having such high standards for his performance, but if you don't make compromises, then nothing will ever happen.
oh, he shot himself in the foot because of that.
Yeah.
Because he was so obsessed with keeping Alf real, he dropped out of a lot of job opportunities. He was supposed to host a segment of the Oscars as Alf one year.
Wow.
And he didn't want to
didn't
do
do
it
that
because of
either.
the same thing. He told the Oscar people the same demands as he had for SNL, and they were like, "This is fucking crazy. We're not doing this for like a one segment
If you
of the
want
Oscars."
you want me to host the Oscars, you're gonna have to make the stage 10 feet taller, and you're gonna make everyone walk on stage to accept their Oscar, walk up
It
like,
wasn't even.
a
It
flight
wasn't
of
even.
stairs.
He wasn't even hosting the entire Oscars. It was just going to be one present. He was going to be presenting an award.
Oh no!
So it was
No.
literally he didn't
He's
want to
not
do
doing
it
that.
for like 3 minutes because of that.
Oh
Like,
gosh, that's a shame.
oh, and
Well, at
famously,
least he was
actors and crew members got
couple
injured
Oscars.
on set a lot because of the holes in the
Alf?
ground. Yeah.
Oh, well, they got to look where they're walking.
Oh, the actor
Sorry.
who played Willie, who was like the main guy, like the human guy, he got so fucking mad at Paul Fusco that he started choking out the puppet. Not Paul Fusco, the puppet, while they were filming. Like, he got in a heated
Why, you
argument.
little-
Yeah, he got in a heated argument with Paul Fusco because he was telling them that, because I guess apparently they would revise the set a lot, and that's why people would get hurt. So like, they didn't have good coordination to tell people where
Oh.
holes were gonna be a
Oh,
lot of the
no.
time. Or they wouldn't like properly cover the hole like after the puppet, so like people would get hurt or like fall in. And
Oh no.
he got in a fight with Paul Fusco, and he literally started choking out the puppet, which I wish I could see footage of that.
It's okay. We can just imagine. We can just close our
and-
eyes and imagine.
And on the final episode, when they finished filming, the actor who played Willie literally walked off set and didn't say anything to anybody and just drove home.
He hated his job. He hated that puppet. He hated
Oh.
Paul Fusco.
Everybody on that show hated that show. Like, that's the thing.
That's so funny. What a beautiful nugget of the past. I should watch some Alf sometime.
It is, again, it's a very, it's 80s as fuck. It's corny as hell, but it's a very fun show.
Yeah. Great.
Got it.
Puppets. I love puppets.
I fucking love puppets. I love puppets so much.
I
Fuck
fucking
you.
love puppets.
Fuck you. I love puppets.
I fucking love puppets more than you. You want to fucking
I
fight?
Do you want to choke you out like the Alf puppet? Think of that
No, I'm
bit
not a
from
puppet.
that bit from the SpongeBob movie, like the two hillbillies where they're laughing, and it just cuts to one of them getting like choked out while they're laughing.
Yeah, slamming your head against the wall 'cause we're laughing so dang hard. That's a
Well, I
great
guess
movie.
to
I mean,
I
yeah.
guess to end this, I just like what I asked this of everybody. What advice would you want to give to somebody who's interested in doing something like VTubing or streaming?
Oh my gosh. I mean, the advice that I always give if someone wants to get into like VTubing specifically is just start streaming. Don't feel like you have to have everything perfect, because if you keep saying like, "Oh, I need this, I need my alerts, I need my overlay," like just make something. But if you keep working to get everything perfect before you even start streaming, then one, you're never gonna stream, and two, you might spend all that time and energy getting all this stuff perfect, and then you might start streaming and think, "Oh, I don't even like streaming. I kind of don't even like doing this." First, first off, you have to enjoy doing it. If you're gonna put all this effort into it, you at least got to make sure that you enjoy streaming first. So just like get a little PNG tuber, little simple PNG tuber, and just start streaming. See if you like it. And if you feel like we talked about earlier, if you feel like, "Oh, I don't really like talking on my own and maybe I don't have that many viewers to talk to," just like grab a friend. Just go live with a friend, have some fun. But when it comes to making a fun cartoony VTuber, if you want to do something like that, if you want to like make something unique and with like a fun setting, just like get creative. Just, do anything you want. It's free. It's not like you're pitching it to a studio. Just do whatever your little heart desires and make sure to have fun. Because if you're not having fun, then what's the point? Just like Reggie said from Nintendo. If you're not having fun, then why play it?